I'm Taylor Bisciotti coming to you from the NFL Network newsroom with some more breaking news. Although, unlike this morning, this breaking news probably falls under the category of the worst kept secret in the NFL. A.J. Brown is now officially a Patriot. I'm joined now by Ian Rapoport, Judy Battista, and Tom Pelissero. Ian, you broke the story. So let's start with you. When did this trade actually get done?
Just a couple minutes ago, it became official and agreed to after 4 p.m. today, of course. That is timing. That is significant. Get to that in a second, but here are the details. A.J. Brown, the long-rumored member of the New England Patriots, is now actually going to be a member of the Patriots. He goes from the Eagles to New England to reunite with head coach Mike Vrabel, who, of course, he was with in Tennessee for the price of a future first-round pick, a 2028 first-rounder, and a fifth-rounder this year. Now, the compensation is interesting because we've known for some time that the Philadelphia Eagles, if they were going to trade A.J. Brown, wanted it to be for a first-rounder. The Patriots were very clear. They did not believe that this trade was going to be for a first-rounder, so they did what two teams do when they want to make a deal. They compromised. Instead of an immediate first-rounder, it was wait a year and then a first-rounder, which actually is an interesting part of this because we knew for sure where the Patriots' first-rounder was going to be this year. We don't know where it's going to be in 2028. It actually could be worse. It could be lower in the draft. They could win the Super Bowl. It could be better. But that guessing game is something we're going to follow for years to come. Most importantly, for the New England Patriots, they get a huge playmaker they know well, and the Eagles get some money flexibility, significant draft pick compensation, and move on from someone who is a major storyline, to say the least, over the last several years.
It's strange to say this when you give up a player like A.J. Brown, but this is a win-win kind of trade. It was clear most of last season that they probably were not going to be able to continue to coexist in Philadelphia with A.J. Brown on the roster. And so you knew they were going to have to move him. It's a huge win for the New England Patriots. First of all, they don't have to give up their first-round draft pick in 2027, which is anticipated to be a very strong draft class. That's number one. But they also get a true number one receiver. Drake May was nearly the league MVP last season with a fading Stephon Diggs, who barely got to 1,000 yards receiving. A.J. Brown, yes, he's on the older side for a wide receiver, is still one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. He is physical. He's great on slants. He's great on deep routes, which is something that Drake May excels at. He completed 72% of his passes that traveled 20 or more air yards. So you're going to see a lot of that in the offense. This is a great fit on the football field. We already know he has the relationship, of course, with Mike Vrabel. This is the kind of move, adding an A.J. Brown to this offense, that should allow the offense to take off even further and to actually enhance what Drake May can already do.
When we're looking at the compensation here, I think it's important to understand how NFL teams look at future draft picks. In many cases, teams would look at a pick that's a year out as being one lower round. In other words, a first rounder this year would be equivalent to a second rounder next year. Out in 2028, that's still 2 years away, so this year's draft has already passed. You can regard that as a second or a third rounder. From the Patriots' perspective, that's a lot different than giving up a first rounder now or even into 2027. But you look at it from the flip side here. For the Eagles, Howie Roseman, who, of course, loves to move around the draft board, loves to make trades, now has ammunition, not just if he decides to do something during this season, but if he needs to do something in the 2027 draft. He's got multiple first-round picks now out into 2028. It gives him a ton of flexibility at a time that the Patriots are getting a player who absolutely steps in to a core role in that offense. They added Romeo Doubs. They cut loose Stephon Diggs. We'll see how all the parts fit together. But A.J. Brown turns 29 next month. He is still in the prime of his career at this point. The Patriots making a bold move, regardless of how much everybody believed this was going to happen. They were confident even in recent days it was going to get done. Now it has, about 20 minutes after it could do so for cap purposes. Taylor.
Ian, how much do you think that Vrabel's relationship and familiarity with A.J. from his Tennessee days plays a factor in this trade?
Yeah, I believe that played a huge factor in this trade. The Philadelphia Eagles certainly did right by A.J. Brown, giving him the opportunity to at least give them some preferred destinations. That's why the Los Angeles Rams were in the mix a couple months ago, whenever that was, and that is why the Patriots were among his top targets. The relationship with Mike Vrabel, the familiarity there, and also having an excellent quarterback in Drake May all made the Patriots a place that A.J. Brown wanted to be. It was just a matter of the Eagles agreeing to terms on a deal, which they did recently. A.J. Brown, Judy, now officially a member of the Patriots.
Well, and Mike Vrabel also knows what A.J. Brown can bring. Obviously, he knows what he can bring on the field. Everybody in the league knows that. He also knows what he can bring in the locker room, because last year, everybody saw A.J. Brown and he was sort of complaining a lot. But A.J. Brown can be a leader in that locker room as well, and they need that. They've got a young quarterback. This is a team that thinks it can get back to the Super Bowl, and certainly adding A.J. Brown is not going to hurt that effort.
I cannot help but think back to the 2022 draft and the scene that unfolds when the Titans make the trade to send A.J. Brown to the Eagles. If you remember it, John Robinson, the GM at the time, executes the trade. Mike Vrabel stands up and walks out of the room. Everybody downplayed that image in the days and weeks to come. There were a lot of reasons, including medical, that the Titans were not comfortable giving A.J. Brown an extension. Well, if anybody knows the condition of A.J. Brown, his body, his knee, it's Mike Vrabel and the Patriots now reunited in New England.
Tom, Ian, Judy, thank you so much. A.J. Brown is finally a Patriot. We'll have much more for you tonight on A.J. Brown, Myles Garrett, blockbuster trade to the Rams, and more on the NFL Insiders tonight at 7 Eastern.